What's up? I'm live on my new laptop now. I managed to get all the issues fixed that we had yesterday on the old deadline stream. So I'm hoping everything is here, present, coherent. We're all good. Got a little Sunday morning coffee going on here in my golden gold mug. I went out a bit last night. I didn't have a big one. I didn't even drink, but it was a bit of a late one. So I'm a little bit ropey this morning. So the coffee is serving us well. Good to see you in the chat, Dazzler. If you don't mind, I'm just going to tweet to say that we are live. I'm just going to do that now. Live now. Live now. I hope you're good. Had a good game week 31 so far. I think we're in a position in FPL at the moment, aren't we, where quite a lot of people have the same team. So I think quite a lot of people have done about the same, to be honest. Insane Gamer, I'm quite annoyed this week. I got a green arrow. Bro. I must say, Insane Gamer, I don't mean this to offend you, but every message I see from you is a rash one. So being annoyed that you sold Eze for Palmer, I don't think you can be annoyed yet because you don't know what Palmer's done. So I wouldn't worry. You don't know what Palmer's going to do against Brentford. I'll be very chill. Very chill. I wouldn't worry. But yeah, I hope everything's okay with the stream. Let us know. Is the quality, sound, etc. Are we all good? Because it's the first one I've done on this new laptop. So hopefully it's all sound. It probably, to you, it appears to be absolutely no different to what we've been doing previously. Gunners Girl, good morning. I hope you're doing well. How did your game week go? Sorry about your team's results. Result against Everton. Really glad I didn't play Saliba over Munoz. Yeah, here's how I'm getting on. I'll show my team. What's your thoughts on Foden? I'm not massive on him. Much love from Evan Nilsson. Yeah, I had Evan Nilsson last week. I had bloody Evan Nilsson and Semenyo last week. 37 points with 6 to go. Good to see you, Laura. I went assistant manager Potter was gutted, then elated, then okay. That's fine. Yeah, I just think he was the best decision. Like, whatever, I went to the football Bristol City with a mate of mine named Jamie yesterday. I doubt Jamie will be in the chat, to be fair, but he also put the assistant manager on Potter. And for the same reason, probably for you, I just think that assistant manager, you've got to chase the upside. You just have to. And I think he was the best option. So even if it didn't work out, Andrew, I think you should be solid in your decision there. Yeah, I sold Evan Nilsson too, Giovanni. Morning utility massage, wildcard 30, and got Foden in. Starting to worry, as heard from a source to City, he's having big family issues. Yeah, he's not been himself this season, has he? I do wonder what's been going on with Foden. Well done, Laura. That's cracking. You're beating me now. Yeah, here's what it is. I guess the league's gone. And, well, that's another... I spoke about it in my buy and avoid video, but the fact that Saka didn't start for Arsenal is pretty telling as to what Arteta's priorities are, aren't they? Opinions on buying Jake O'Brien in Game Week 35 onwards. He seems like he has goal threat, not for me. Sold Munoz to get Glasner. Oh, man. Oh, well, you would have got some points for Glasner, I suppose. You got to think long-term with that transfer, I reckon. Good morning, Woodstock. Any info on the City lineup? Let's have a gander. Let's have a look at it. I'm not sure anything, though. Also, my voice is kind of honest. I was at Bristol City v Watford. No, I've got no news, I'm afraid. Yeah, I was at Bristol City v Watford yesterday, and we won to go in the playoffs in the Championship. So I was absolutely buzzing and screaming for pretty much 90 minutes. So yeah, apologies if I'm a bit croaky. We're going again on Tuesday. We got West Brom on Tuesday night under the lights. Another game against a team that are kind of mid-table pushing for playoffs. So yeah, these two games will be absolutely massive for us. Rogers should be in everyone's team. Yeah, look, he's in my team, mate. He's on my bloody bench. I swear, I swear Morgan Rogers has scored more points when he's been on my bench than in my team. I don't know if there's a tool that will tell you the answer to that question, but I'm pretty sure he has scored more points for me on my bench than in my team. Chris has got the money to move Saka or Foden to Palmer this week. Which one or neither? Just wait, mate. I'd wait. I'd wait. I'd probably do neither, but I'd wait and see what happens. Did Conser come off rested? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. He's being saved, isn't he? Oh, no. Oh, no, that was February the 9th. He was forced off. I've not seen too many managers talking about it, to be honest. No, I can't see anything. He didn't start, though. If you didn't pick Saka from Arsenal, then who do you pick in midfield and attack? No one. You could maybe go for Marino, but honestly, I don't. Doesn't fill me with excitement. It was so early to get Saka. Who need time to be Saka, we know. Sorry, Hazim, I don't quite understand that. Yeah, Conser looks like he's rested. My team Wednesday going into an embargo. Are you really? Sheffield Wednesday? Seriously? Oh, 90 plus 4 winner for Hull. That's gutting, mate. Sorry about that. I'm used to that as a City. Lost probably 5 or 6 games this season in that period of time. Saka is not fit yet. I think he's fit, mate. Being rested for Real Madrid. You know, Arteta knows the only kind of glory or success he's going to get this season is in the Champions League, right? Prem's gone at this point. My voice is cut out for a millisecond a couple of times. Interesting. Well, let me know if that continues. That was one of the issues that I had when I was using the stream on my laptop yesterday. So I suppose I better talk about my team, haven't I? We were just looking at the chat then. So yeah, Raya and Saliba. Arsenal obviously conceding that penalty to Everton. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think that was a penalty. So I'm a little bit upset about that, to be honest. What were the stats in that game? Let's have a quick look. Oh, we need another one. We need to upload. Get on FutMob or something. Sofa Score's my favourite. Let's go on Sofa Score. Yesterday's games. Everton Arsenal. In the browser, please. So 1 XG for Everton, 1.79 for Arsenal, 2 big chances for Everton, 1 for Arsenal. So yeah, I guess not much in it. If anything, it was a kind of 2-1 game by the looks of it, but Arsenal only had the 1 big chance. Yeah, I don't know. Can I say I was unlucky to not get a clean sheet out of Raya and Saliba on that penalty? Probably. Munoz with a goal. Palace, well, they didn't keep a clean sheet, but at least he scored. Munoz is just an absolute beast, isn't he? Really pleased to pick him. I was very scared of not having him in game weeks gone by because he's just fantastic. Like, he can get returns through 3 different means very easily. So we like him. What have I still got to play? So I've still got Dan Burn, I've still got Murphy, I've still got Salah, captain, I've still got Isak, and I've still got Marmoush. I think quite a lot of people will have these players. In fact, I'm going to go on live FPL, and I'm just going to have a gander to see what their ownership is around my rank. Because I think I'd probably have the same team as everyone else inside the top 50k at this point. Yeah, look at that. Wow. Okay, here we go. I'm not sponsored by Squarespace yet, unfortunately. Okay, so here's the ownership. So the green is ownership around my rank, and then on the left is top 10k ownership. And none of the players in my team are under 20% owned, which is quite funny. So yeah, Raya 45%, Burn 22, Saliba 28, Munoz 61, Sarr 36, Murphy 41, Salah 160%, Saliba 45, Marmoush 79, Isak is 129% owned, and Mateta is 60.1. So if I've got Salah as my captain on 160 EO and Isak on 127, I'm guessing in order to gain ground, I need Salah to do well because he's not 200%, and then I need Isak to have a bad game because he's 127. I think that's the maths in my head and how that works out. But yeah, interesting to see, I guess. Well, consensus around me probably is, yeah, even in the top 10k, more people captain Salah than Isak by the looks of it. Yeah, go back to my team. Sarr, yeah, 1 pointer. In hindsight, I looked at the fixtures, right? Brighton at home for Palace versus Nottingham Forest for Villa, and I think I'd do it all over again, to be honest, with Sarr over Rodgers. I think I would have started Sarr. Yeah, I didn't think Villa would win against Forest. I certainly didn't think Rodgers would do well. But that's typical, isn't it? Whenever he's on my bench, he does well. Yeah, I had a bit of an interesting thought process on the deadline stream yesterday between Murphy and Gordon. I actually ended up checking out FPL Fran's cheat sheet to see how the two compared. And when you look at non-penalty goals and assists and non-penalty expected goals and assists, Murphy is actually ahead of Anthony Gordon this season. And picking Murphy meant that I could go for Saliba instead of Timber as well. And also, I'll fleck up the fixtures a second. I don't know about you guys, but I want to absolutely go all in on double game week 33. And I'll just show you. So obviously everyone knows the fixtures, right? I really want to move on to an Aston Villa player from Murphy, and I've left enough cash in the bank to go for Asensio. I don't know if he'll play all that many games in 33. I guess we'll see how far they get in the Champions League. But I really like the idea of owning Asensio because I don't know about you guys, but I think of all those Villa attackers at the moment, he's my favourite. I'd almost put him ahead of Rodgers. But I've already got Rodgers, so I don't need to worry about that. So yeah, Salah is my captain. Saka, a bit of a disappointing one. And in fact, I'll show you something else as well. I'll show you something else that might be worth talking through. So I can't imagine I'm alone in someone that started Saka. Just have a quick look at the Arsenal fixtures. I don't know if Gunner's Girl's still in the chat and what she thinks what Arteta will do here. So this is Arsenal's next 6 fixtures, right? So they got Real Madrid on Tuesday, which Saka was obviously rested this week to be fit for that game. And then they've got Brentford on Saturday at 5:30. And then they've got Madrid again on the Wednesday. And Saka was rested ahead of the Madrid game this week. Will he be rested for the Madrid game against Brentford? And then they've got Sunday the 20th of April and then the 23rd. That's obviously the double. How many minutes is he going to get over that period of time? I don't think I know an answer at the moment, but I mean, I'll leave that to you guys to decide in the chat because I don't think anyone knows at this stage. I think we need to see the Madrid game play out and see what happens. But yeah, what do we reckon on Saka's minutes? You think he starts the next 3, 60 against Brentford? Yeah. And also, if you're an Arsenal fan, how do you feel about, I guess the league is done and dusted, I suppose, but how do you feel about Arsenal kind of just throwing the league at this point? Because that lineup they played against Everton was basically them showing they've given up. Rested Brentford, 490 in the doubles. There's every chance, isn't there? Get benched against Brentford. Yeah, fair one. I just don't know. I want to see what happens in the Madrid game, basically, I think. I want to see what happens in the Madrid game. But it's something to consider, isn't it? And also, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking really with Saka. I'm on the wrong screen. Do I regret it? I don't know. In hindsight, I would have benched him, I think, and obviously meant I played Rodgers. Yeah. Anyway, up front, we've got Marmoush and Isak still to play. I'm hoping Marmoush does some bits against Man United. Also, obviously Kevin De Bruyne is announced he's leaving. So is that good for his minutes? I don't know. Who is going to be the penalty taker while Haaland is out injured? Will Marmoush take penalties? What do you guys think? Joseph, I'm hoping... I don't actually know what. I'm hoping that Isak... I wouldn't wish an injury on a player. So I'm thinking purely like FPL perspective. I'm hoping that Isak doesn't feature at all because that means I get Rodgers. But I do think he does start. Yeah, I do. By the way, if you haven't already, it's impossible for me to check how many likes were on the stream. So I'd be grateful if someone could let me know. But yeah, if you could leave a like rating on the stream, I'd be very grateful. Yeah, Gunners Girl thinking he'll be rested against Brentford. Sorry, Gunners Girl. I do apologise. I've forgotten your name. Yeah, I can call you by your name or Gunners Girl, whatever you prefer. Talk about Liam Delap. He's a good player, isn't he? I just don't think he's pickable in FPL, though. Amanda, there we go. I just don't think he's pickable in FPL, to be honest. I don't know about you guys. I just think there are better strikers than him. He's a good player. I think he'll stay in the Premier League this next season, of course. But yeah, I don't think he's pickable in FPL. I hope Man United buys someone like Delap. I do remember Biddy's name. How could I forget? It's what I see in the picture. Nice one, Real Life Demon. 6k, impossible to get a green arrow. Yeah, but you're 6k at the end of the day. Good morning, I'm going to try it. Abdurizak? Is that it? Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah, where do we reckon Liam Delap will go? That's an interesting one. Cortex, man, good to see you. It's been a little while. I was thinking about you on the stream yesterday. Not in that way. I was thinking about the quiz because I asked some questions that you were always revising for. So I was like, where's Cortex? He's not been here a while. So it's good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. Paul, great to see you, buddy. Sorry I missed your message there. Looks like 33 likes. Let's get cracking, guys. See if we can get 100 likes on the stream. I've got a quiz as well, if anyone fancies doing the quiz in a bit. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, Necky Lick. That's not a dodgy name to say. That's fine. Isak to Arsenal, Delap to Newcastle. Seems sensible. On your way to the gym. Love it, mate. Do you think anyone from Arsenal can be benched now versus Brentford? Would it put you off bench boost 32? Yeah, I think I'd bench boost 33 for me now at this point. Now Nketiah's on a red could mean, I think so. Gyökeres, yeah, he's on the market as well. Marmoush, Hattie and coming, hope so, mate. Well, I'm a Man United fan, but I don't really care about Man United in the Premier League anymore as long as we don't get relegated. Is it time to start believing? I hope so, mate. I mean, it just feels good to be a Bristol City fan, doesn't it? I didn't think I'd be saying that at this stage of the season, but it's a good place to be. And I think as a football fan, you just have to be grateful for times like this where you're actually excited to watch your team play, right? Like Tuesday, mate. Tuesday is absolutely massive. I am so looking forward to the game on Tuesday against West Brom. Who would you sell Son for in Gameweek 33? I'd consider Asensio, mate. Tom is busy with his new lady from Florence. Yes, mate. Don't focus on the game. I was privy to a leak 30 seconds before the deadline to say that Saka had been benched, and I just didn't have enough time. Cortex, Ramadan in my sleep. Nice one, man. Well, I'm glad to have you back. I went for João Pedro instead of Mateta. Do you think Pedro... Wow. Whoa. I can't... Why did you go for João Pedro over Mateta, bro? What was the reason for that? Would you keep Trossard or take him out for Saka? At this point, man, I just keep him. Keep until 33. I'm hoping Isak plays for 45, but doesn't score as I got Marmoush as captain. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Tuesday's huge, isn't it? Absolutely massive. Very much looking forward to it. By the way, feel free to let me know in the chat when you guys want to do the quiz. I've got 5 quiz questions prepared based upon what happened in Game Week. What Game Week are we on? Game Week 31. Can you believe it? We're nearly at the end of the season. We're nearly at Game Week 38. There's only 7 game weeks to go. So I'm being very grateful for the fact that I can still do these streams every week of the season. And I'm also wondering, what the hell do I do with myself when the football season finishes? We were just discussing that, actually, Ryan. I think it will be Marmouche. Evan Nilsson, bloody sold him. I had Semenyo and Evan Nilsson last week, and I sold him on my wildcard. That's not gone well so far. Really hoping Isak outscored Salah. Only person in my league with Isak captain. I went for the minutes, mate. I went for the minutes. I think if they were both playing guaranteed to play 90, I would have picked Isak. But the uncertainty around Isak's fitness and minutes would tempt that. Get 20 points from 4 players. Still have Postecoglou. Fair enough. Fishing more. Yeah. Sounds good. Why do you do course fishing, fly fishing, sea fishing? What kind of fishing are we talking? Everyone seems to have the same team again. I have just about the same team as you. Who is the players to make the difference? Right now, I don't think it's the time to be going differential, to be honest. 2 players, all right? 2 players I think can make the difference. Next week, if he's fit, is Anthony Gordon. I think going for him would be a good shout. I couldn't fit him into my team because I was worried about his fitness this week, and it meant that I had to go for Timber instead. So I didn't pick him. So I think Anthony Gordon is one, and then another one is Asensio. I think Asensio is a good shout as well. Love that Cortex. Pike fishing, but we'll go looking for barbel. Nice, man. Do you do that, like, where'd you do that? Everyone wildcarded, everyone's targeting the same teams, everyone's same injuries, yet people are still shocked everyone has the same team. Yeah. And like at this stage of the season, right, we've got 30 game weeks of data behind us. So we know the teams. And also, you know, some of these teams have 2 double game weeks, right? It's pretty obvious who you're going to be picking in the game at the moment. The 7 in Worcestershire. Nice, man. Aston Villa's defence seems only Martinez can be option. No, I'd go Konza as well. I've got Konza. I think that's fine. And Mbumo and Wissa, slightly, yeah, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, if you've got them, they're pretty differential. Definitely. We've got 237 people in here as well. Thank you very much for joining. If you're enjoying it, make sure to leave a like rating on the stream. I'd really appreciate that. And if you're new around here and haven't already, please click subscribe. And if you want, consider joining as a member. If you become a member of the Golden Goal channel, you'll get early access to all of my videos. And on the deadline streams, you can get a personalised team review from me. So if you put your FPL ID in the chat on a deadline stream, I'll pull it up in a tool, have a look at your team and suggest you some transfers. And it's like, you support me, I think it's like £3 a month. I'm pretty sure I'd selected the cheapest option. So yeah, good morning, Alex. I hope you're keeping well, mate. Oh, and also I'm picking up a new car this week, so that's cool. What else is going on with me? Yeah, got a big game against West Brom on Tuesday. I'm back in the pool and swimming. I was away. Gio's talking about me being in Florence. I went to Florence a couple of weekends ago and I got really ill. It knocked me out for like a week, but I'm back training now, so I'm very grateful for that. So yeah, we're back in life, mate. This is crazy. We have the same exact wild card. Yeah, a lot of people managed to got the same team. I hope you're doing well, by the way, mate. Looking at benching Saka game week 32. Yeah, you could do worse, especially with Rodgers having Southampton. Thanks, man. It's quite a bittersweet one because I absolutely love my current car, but it's come to an age where I'm going to have to start spending some real money on it to keep it on the road. And I just think I'm a little bit too grown up for it now. I'm a little bit too old for a 2-seater sports car with a 100 decibel exhaust on it. So I think it's time. So I've got one more week with it, basically. The new car should be prepared sort of Wednesday, Thursday next week. So I'll swap it over then. Hoping Isak not play got same first year. I would like Isak not to play. They should still target the same team as everyone else. But yeah, I think the 2 differentials right now in my mind are Marco Asensio and Gordon. Mekdath. So I've always liked BMWs. I've always been a big fan of BMWs, especially a 1 Series. I think like younger lad like me, a 1 Series is kind of the ideal BMW to get. And I was looking at the, well, if you know cars, I was looking at the M135i and M140i. And what those cars are, for anyone who don't know, is a BMW 1 Series with an absolutely gargantuan engine in it. It's got a 6-cylinder, I think twin turbo, or it might be a single turbo, with like 350 horsepower. And it's just crazy. I've driven one before. It was so fast, and I was like, well, I'm just going to get a speeding ticket in this thing every time I drive it. And they get stolen quite a lot. They're quite popular with gangs and stuff. So they get stolen quite a lot. The insurance is expensive for me because I live in a city. So I was like, well, I don't want to get one of them. So I went one below. You can get something called a 125i, which is a little bit more understated. It's not as loud, but it's still got, I think, like 230, 240 horsepower. So it's about as fast as a Golf GTI. That's what I bought, basically. I see it as like a rear-wheel drive Golf GTI, and the interior in it is sick, by the way. It's got like beige leather seats. I've always wanted beige leather seats, and that's what it's got. And they gave me a really good, the dealer I bought it from gave me a really good deal on my current car. So, yeah, I'm not parting ways with, I'm definitely not made of money, by the way. I'm not parting away with too much of my money. So it's been a good deal. Mateta and Munoz are owned by everyone. The only difference is Eze versus Sarr. Indeed it is. And I think they'll even out over the course of the next few weeks as well, because Sarr's minutes with Eze's like injury record, I think that will even out over the doubles. I really do. Dude, really flexing. What's that, Duncan? I don't understand. Saka starting, Rogers benching has hurt me as well. Yeah, man. Lexus are nice. I agree, McNath. I really like the steering wheel as well. The steering wheel, I don't know why, you touch it all the time as a driver. I just really like the design of it. And yes, I will, fast air, I will not be using my indicator ever again. All right, cheers, Duncan. Have Leeds bottled promotion? Maybe. From my personal perspective, one of those big three in the championship of Leeds, Sheffield United and Burnley, one of them are going to drop to the playoffs. And of all of those teams, I think I'd rather play Sheffield United, to be fair. So if Sheffield United drop to the playoffs, that's probably ideal for me. I'd like Burnley and Leeds to go up automatically. So Bristol City have the most likely run of winning the playoffs in my mind. I get you, Jim, but I don't know if I have any fresh ideas, really. You kind of have to pick a lot of these players with the fixtures. Couple of differentials. I've been talking about it. I think Gordon and Asensio could be decent. So yeah, Seb, no mate. I was a little bit lazy this morning. I was out, well, relatively late last night. I don't drink or anything, but I was just a little bit tired this morning. So the thought of I was a little bit slow, so I didn't quite make it out for a walk. But I will be driving home back to Somerset today and enjoying the sunshine. Bristol City win yesterday. Yeah, Coventry out of the playoffs. Mate, the win, Bristol City's win yesterday was mega. And yeah, no offence. I know I guess you're a Coventry fan. Didn't know that. But yeah, I'm hoping obviously we stay in the playoffs and you don't. No offence. Rogers and Munoz on your bench. Who are you benching Munoz for, man? Fax doesn't have Salah. That's interesting. That is interesting. With all the red cards on Crystal Palace, you still think I have to switch my manager to Glasner? It depends, Gio. It depends how many Crystal Palace and Newcastle players you have. Because obviously the assistant manager takes up 3 slots, the third slot. So you need to be careful who you pick, I think. So it all depends on that. Oh, you started Saliba. Would I have done that? It's close, isn't it, to be fair? Saliba versus Everton, Munoz v Brighton. It's close. I'll let you off on that one. Just going to load up Twitter, see if we've got any. Oh, we need to do a quiz, don't we? Right. I'm going to just check to see if we've got any team news, and then I'm going to go straight to the quiz. Okay. Let's do quiz. All right. Question number 1 of the Game Week 31 quiz. Who is the top scoring player of the Game Week so far? Who is the top player of the Game Week so far? Who is that Pokemon? Was there a Pokemon, was there? Not sure if I'm ready. Yeah. It's all right, mate. Just take a break if you need to, man. You don't need to worry about Game Week 32 ultimately until Friday, Saturday time. So if you need to take a break, own good, mate, just do it. Answers are flying in. The answer is Evan Nilsson with 13 points. I think pretty much everyone said Evan Nilsson. So well done if you did. Next question. Who is that? All of these players, silhouettes, questions, etc., all relatively relevant. Relatively relevant? All relevant for Game Week 31. So there's a little bit of a clue as to who that might be. So who is that? Golden Goal FPL. It's good. It could be me. I'm just watching a clip of Pickford making a huge save against Trossard as well while I had Twitter open. It was a crazy save. Right. The answer, I don't think anyone got this. No one has got it. The answer is Danny Welbeck. So well done if anyone said Welbeck. And I don't think anyone did say Welbeck. There were lots of Rashfords, Mallons, but no Welbeck. It was Danny Welbeck. That was a tough one. I don't mean to offend Danny Welbeck by saying this, but it kind of has a generic sort of haircut and head shape, right? So it could be anyone. So I thought that'd be a bit fun. Okay, next question. This is a bit more niche, I suppose. Who scored maximum bonus points in Ipswich versus Wolves? Who got max bonus in the Ipswich v Wolves game? Do I think pro players are on PEDs? Into this rabbit hole. There's certainly a rabbit hole to go down. One thing I would always say about PEDs, right? Drugs are ahead of the testing. They always are, because the only way you find out about performance-enhancing drugs is by developing a test that detects them. And the only way you can do that is by knowing it exists in the first place. So I don't think it's just footballers. It could be a case that there are a lot of athletes that are on PEDs, to be honest. I really do, that are just undetectable. And another thing I would say is check out how many Olympians, professional footballers use inhalers and are diagnosed as asthmatic. That's a bit of a conspiracy to go down. And that's all I'll say. I don't know if anyone else has got any thoughts on that. I don't take PEDs. I don't have any money, or I don't know anything about them to take them, to be honest. I just take creatine and a bit of protein. That's all I have. Oh, and a bit of magnesium as well to help me sleep. That's all I'm on. And also, asthma is and I don't mean, because people do actually have asthma. I had asthma when I was a child. So people do actually have it. But the tests that you do to be medically diagnosed with asthma, well, I don't know if it's changed now, but the test that I did was to do like the peak flow test. So you put this tube thing in your mouth and you breathe out as hard as you can, and you get a score based on how hard you can breathe out. And it's quite easy to like fake that test because there's no way of them knowing that you're not trying your hardest, if that makes sense. So yeah, you can just, what do you call it? Sandbag, I suppose. The hold yourself back on the peak flow test and then you're asthmatic. The answer, by the way, is Sarabia. So well done everyone that said Sarabia. Next question. Who is that? Who is that? Yeah, I heard that. There was a... I don't know if it was in the 30s or 40s, but a company sold a cigarette that could cure a cough, which I thought was quite funny. Oh, there was a big bang outside my flat just then. That was ominous. Got the answers flying in. Look at that. Thank you, everyone. By the way, if you're enjoying the quiz and the stream in general, I'd really appreciate it if you could leave a like rating. Helps my stream reach more people, and it's totally free. You just got to click a button, and if you haven't already, you're new around here, and you want to take part in the chat, it's totally free. You can just click subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And if you want to get some early content, early access to all my videos, and I will also, what do? I do team reviews as well. On a deadline stream, if you want to put your FPL ID in the chat on a deadline stream, I'll review your team. So yeah, consider subscribing and joining as a member. Back to the quiz. Quite a lot of people are rightly saying it's Jarrod Bowen. So well done everyone that said Bowen. What we got in the chat? Technology, it has indeed. Good to see you, Jess. I hope you're keeping well. Happy Sunday. People pretty good on this. Whoa, Prince Peter's going mad. He must have. He's keen, but he's like 30 seconds behind on the quiz. Sorry, bro. I'm going to have to... you have to calm you down, bro. All right. Final question then. How many goals have been scored in this game week so far? That's quite funny, that. He was spamming an answer to a question that came up like 2 minutes ago. It'd be interesting to see who gets this right. Is it quite easy to fall back in time when you're watching a live stream on YouTube? I don't really do many streams to know if that's quite an easy mistake. I am first. Please check my ands. All right. Are you already prepared for this question? Interesting. Funny enough, the site doesn't say 13. It says 15. There were 15 goals scored yesterday. There you go. There's your answer. You actually won some money on a sports bet, Getty. That is incredible, man. I don't think I've ever won a football bet. I've maybe played 2 or 3 in my life, and I've never won anything. You don't really win football bets. I find it there's so much uncertainty in the game that anything can happen. Because if you think about it, if you bet on a horse, you've got one thing that you kind of, well, I guess all the other horses could crash into it, I suppose. But you're kind of betting on one thing, like one creature. But when you're doing a football bet, you're betting on 22 things happening, right? You're betting on maybe 11 players doing better than another 11 and then not getting injured, not getting sent off. There are so many variables in football compared to other sports, which is why, yeah, betting on football, I just don't like it. There's too many possible outcomes. Right, Tommy boy, down to business. We like that, man. Keep Glasner or get rid. I'd keep him. Well, it depends. It depends. Who would you get instead? Who would you get instead? Well, another thing, so I'll find it. I'm not going to talk about it on YouTube because I don't know if it will get me in trouble, to be honest. But there's a really good YouTube video about drugs testing in football and how little it's done, basically. Let's have a look. I'll put it in the chat. Accidentally typed football pecs then instead of PEDs. So yeah, 63%, 2 years ago, 63% of the Liverpool squad had asthma. But the UK average is 12%. Where is it? I've lost the video. Well, I'll share a more plates, more dates video. How about that? He knows what he's talking about when it comes to drugs taken and whatnot. There you go. But yeah, I mean, I always say this about PEDs. The drugs are ahead of the tests. So if you're taking something that the tests don't know exists, then you're signed. And yeah, Rio Ferdinand is literally the only one to ever get a drugs ban. Do you really think I just think there's more than that, to be honest. Paul Pogba's been done, hasn't he? He apparently tested positive for testosterone, was the headline, which isn't, everyone's got testosterone in their body, but he probably had massively elevated T levels. So yeah, it's an interesting one. And I would say the PEDs that footballers are taking, probably not necessarily the steroids that a bodybuilder would take. It's more around like recovering and peptides to help you heal from injuries and stuff. That'll probably be what people are taking. I'm pretty sure Fred, remember the former Man United player Fred? I'm pretty sure he was popped for some PEDs as well. So there are a few that take it. Pep Guardiola, this is another conspiracy. You can check that out. But Pep Guardiola was done. I think he took clenbuterol, something like that, like 20 years ago. He was popped. And then, you can go down a conspiracy. I'm not saying I don't think he did. But there was a period of time where Rodri was like losing his eyebrows and people were suggesting that maybe he was taking something as well. So yeah, who knows? Who knows? I just think it's an interesting topic. I don't know enough to know for certain, but it's an interesting topic. I don't know if Jess is still in the chat, but she'd probably crack me one if I said that Rodri was taking PEDs. Rodri lost his eyebrows on a stag do, fair enough. What are your thoughts on the very general landscape of football? I think football's in a pretty good place at the moment. But what we are seeing is an emergence, I think, of just top teams in every country just absolutely dominating. And I think a problem we've got in English football at the moment is Premier League teams are just so far and above any other teams in the country. And if you get promoted from the Championship, and even if you spend hundreds of millions after being promoted from the Championship, you still go straight back down because of how good the Premier League is and the level of the Premier League. So yeah, there's going to be 17 teams that just never get relegated in my mind. And the 3 teams that go up from the Championship this season are probably going to go straight back down again. Like, if you pick the favourites, which I say are Sheffield United, Burnley and Leeds, I think all 3 of those teams go straight back down if they go up as they are. And like my team, Bristol City, don't get me wrong, we're having a great season. We're 6th in the league. It's fantastic, right? I'm so happy to be a Bristol City fan. But I was saying this to my mate. If we got promoted this season, we would be the worst squad in Premier League history. There's no doubt about it. We'd probably lose all 38 games at this point. I don't think there are any FPL gems in the Bristol City squad at the moment, mate. I don't. Sorry. I think if we got promoted, we'd need to spend hundreds of millions. We really would. Would you swim the English Channel? Probably not, mate. I've been invited actually this year to do a relay of the English Channel. But I'm a sprinter, and all of my competitions this year are going to be focused on sprinting. So chucking in a channel swim when I'm training for sprinting wouldn't really work. Yeah. One thing I don't like is the ticket pricing in football at the moment. That's one thing I don't like. How much players get paid, that's all just a business thing, mate, with how much money's in football. And you think, you know, the stars of football are the players. So I think rightly they're probably the highest paid people in the game. But the ticket pricing is a bit of a shambles. Well, I think the main benefit from PDs in football, Brett, is recovery. Not necessarily, yeah, stamina's one thing, but it's recovery. Recovery from injuries, knocks, training, muscle healing, all of that stuff is why you use it. You're not wanting to get absolutely stacked and massive as a footballer. You just want to recover from your games and your training more quickly. That's why they're taking it. That's why you would take it, in my mind. But again, I'm not a medical expert, just throwing that out there. Thoughts on pricing next season if Salah and Trent leave? Yeah, what is going on with Salah's contract situation? Is he? I guess he's leaving Liverpool this year, right? Yeah, but I mean, if Salah leaves FPL, it's gonna be broken, isn't it? When Antonio was smashing it, yeah, he is just a physical. He's just a beast, isn't he, Antonio? To be fair, he's got them Jamaican genetics as well. Like you see the Olympic 100 meters, 200 meters. The Jamaicans just have an edge. Genetically, the Jamaicans are built for speed, power, and sprint. They have the best genetics in the world for that, in my mind. Absolutely, Vasilios. I completely agree with you. I think the prices should swap. I agree with Geddy. I think the prices should swap. After the greatest FPL season in history, yeah, I mean, he should be the most expensive player in history in my mind. Seeing if there was any news. Thoughts on Gordon? I like. Just not sure he's going to start this week. But I think if you're looking at two players that not many people have that could do well over the next few weeks, I would pick Marco Asensio and Anthony Gordon. Those would be my two. Wilson 4. Hey, Tom. I'm the champion of ISL Fantasy. Won a PS5, FIFA 25, 30k worth of gift cards, and a signed jersey in football. Massive, mate. Well done. What is ISL Fantasy? Oh, is that the cricket fantasy? No. Or is that the Indian Premier League? That's mega, mate. Well done. Hey, man, great work. Keep it up. Do you think Eze will outscore Saar? I think they'll be about the same, mate. I really do. I think game for game, when they're both fit, Eze is a better asset. But I think Saar's fitness record is better than Eze's. So I think over the long term, they'll be about the same. They'll be about the same. Who do you think have the best genetics for football? Well, I'll tell you something about genetics for football. Genuinely, I don't think there's an answer to that because of all the positions and play styles, etc. That's what I love football as a game. Is you do have to be a pretty conditioned athlete to be in the Premier League, I suppose. That goes without saying. But kind of every nationality and like genetic makeup works in football because you can play all the positions. So if you're like stacked, big and powerful, you can play as centre back. If you're tall, you can play in goal. If you're short but quite technically good, there's positions for, it sort of all kind of works really. Do you think making assistant manager a weekly pick next? I think it would make the game more interesting. I do, mate. I do. I think they're moving towards an assistant manager. For me, having it as a chip breaks the game because if you played it like I did over the 3 weeks where we could go for Moyes, Emery, and Glasner, I scored 54 points from this one chip, which makes it single-handedly the best chip in the game. So I think having it as a chip doesn't work for me. I think it should either be a permanent feature of the game or not at all. If Foden is benched today, I have exact budget to do Foden and Sarr to Rodgers and Palmer. I wouldn't do that. Not worth it. Would you say that doing 8k 7 days a week is better cardio than a few 5 kilometers a week trying to improve times. I currently do the slower pace, but a bit more regular then. I wouldn't do 8K for 60 minutes 7 days a week. I would have a rest day. If it was me. I'd probably do, if it were me, I would do 4 runs, 2 gyms. That's what I'd do. The gyms would stop you getting injured from the running as well. And then have a rest day. Sunday is my rest day, for example. I don't do anything on a Sunday. I just stretch and have an easy day. No, exactly, Brett. I completely agree with you. Should they replace refs and VAR with AI? Maybe one day that will happen. I just think someone said about the landscape of football. I think one thing that football is way behind on is their use of technology. I really do. Some tech billionaire needs to come into the world of football, invade FIFA, and like fill it with tech. Because yeah, VAR is just rubbish, isn't it? But it's not. The concept of VAR is. I still firmly believe that VAR is a positive for the game. It's just the human beings are always going to be the problem in terms of decision making in football. They're always going to be the problem. They fixed goal line technology pretty well. It's only ever failed like once, famously failed once when I think it was Villa played. I can't remember who they played. But yeah. Need Frank to get me the assistant manager boner. There's a chance. Semi-automatic offside. I can't believe it's taken so long to get that in. Do you think we will see Grealish 10 more often? All depends on Foden, mate. And I don't think so. When Haaland's back, I don't think that will happen anymore. Replace refs with a coin toss. You could well do. Bristol City, mate. Come on. What a huge game that was yesterday. The Bailey goal it was. Is semi-auto... I don't know. Villa v Sheffield United. What are you saying that, bro? Just going to see if there's any leaks. By the way, it is fantastic to see man, Let's Talk FPL. Done his couch to 5K. What a friggin' legend. What was I going to look at? Oh, I just wanted to go through the games, didn't I? Let's talk about the games. And then I'll finish the reaction stream, I think, after that. Okay, so first up then, we had Everton-Arsenal. Everton-Arsenal. 1-1. Trossard, Njai with the goals. Harrison obviously won the pen. Sterling got the assist for Trossard. I think Trossard had another good chance to score, but Pickford made a ridiculous save, to be honest. And overall, I think the pen was soft. That would be my thoughts. Pen was quite soft. Nothing much more to say on that. I think, well, other than the Arsenal lineup, I think the Arsenal starting 11 shows what Arteta thinks about the Premier League now in terms of his goals. And it would concern me if I owned other Arsenal assets that got benched in that game. I don't think it was obvious facts, not at all. You can't possibly say it was obvious that he wasn't going to start. I'm not having that. Crystal Palace 2, Brighton 1. Goals for Mateta and Munoz, who pretty much everyone owns. There's a bit of a battle, as people were rightly saying in the chat, between who people have as their third Crystal Palace asset between Sarr and Eze. And it was Eze that came away with 2 assists. We had a goal from Welbeck, assist from Minter. Yellow card for Solly March. 2 red cards for Palace. And Nketiah and Guéhi getting sent off. Van Heck for Brighton getting sent off. 4 saves for Dean Henderson. And max bonus for Welbeck. 2 for Mateta, 1 for Eze. Question is, I think, did Lacroix, the French centre-back for Crystal Palace, go off injured as well? So Palace without a couple of their good centre-halves now, which would worry me a little bit defensively. Ipswich 1, Wolves 2. Delap playing really well. Got 2 bonus points in that game. Goal. Sarabia, Strand Larson with 2 goals. Well, a goal each. Sarabia with a goal and an assist. 4 saves per Palmer, the Ipswich keeper. He's 4.5. I thought he was 4 million. I was going to say. He's a pretty good option at 4 million, but you can't pick him at that price. West Ham 2, Bournemouth 2. Quite a lot of people, I'd imagine, having Potter as their assistant manager. Potter. Anyone gets that Harry Potter reference. Bowen and Fulkrug with the goals for West Ham. It's good to see Fulkrug back in the lineup for West Ham. I've always said I think this guy's a really, really good striker. Hopefully he goes on a good run to the end of the season. He could be a good option, if they double. Assist for Kudus, Ward-Prowse, Semenyo and Howson. Howson with a bloody assist. That's annoying. He's on my bench in my fan team. And then obviously 2 goals for Evan Nilsson, max bonus for Evan Nilsson, 2 bonus for Fulkrug, 1 for Semenyo. And I sold Evan Nilsson and Semenyo on my wild card. Very frustrating. Villa 2, Forest 1. I didn't expect this game to play out this way, I won't lie. I did think Forest would win the game. But we had goals from Rodgers and Mallon for Villa, assists for Martson, Tielemans, Jota Silva, Williams with the goal and assist for Forest. 4 yellow cards in that game. Marco Asensio with a yellow. I'm still backing Asensio as my favourite Villa asset at the moment. Watkins obviously didn't start. I think he's nursing some kind of knee injury. And that's probably all there is to talk about in summary on the games. So I'm going to switch to... I'm going to go on the solo screen. I'm going to wrap up the stream in a sec, but feel free to chat to me about anything for the next 5 minutes. Did Watkins start? And I'm an idiot. I apologise if Watkins started. I must be an idiot. It's my bad. I am just an idiot. That's what went wrong there. My bad. Would you fancy transferring out Bruno and João Pedro for Mateta and Rodgers? Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. But I'd wait. I wouldn't do it now. I'd wait. See what happens in Champions League first for Villa, I reckon. Rank goal this season, to be honest, top 50k I'd be chuffed with. Top 10k I'd be really happy with. But I think at this point, just staying in the top 50k is the way to go for me. Best game week for bench boost? Well, it depends on your team. For me, I'm bench boosting in 33. Yeah, we spoke about that at the start of the stream, Rat Dog. Spent a bit of time on it. Might be worth, rather than me repeating myself, might be worth going back in time. Because, yeah, it's uncertain. I don't have any thoughts because I don't know. I'm so uncertain that I'd rather not say anything, to be honest. I just don't know. I think we'll know more as that Real Madrid game plays out, to be honest. I wouldn't be worried about Concer's minutes. You didn't need him this week. You just need to worry about him for 33, and I think it'd be all right. I do. So, well, I mean, Villa are in the Champions League quarterfinals, so I think it, if there was ever a reason to bench him, it's that. What's that for, John? Oh, that's how you feel. Fair enough. In terms of Saka's minutes. Yeah, I agree. Just don't know. Triple cap pick. I think it's probably Isak next week, mate. Isak next week for me. If he's fit, go for Isak. Your best bet's to go back in time. Sorry to hear that, bro. The past is done, man. You can't change it. All you can do... Well, this is bloody philosophical. All you can do is do stuff in the present to make your future better. That's all you can do. So focus on that. That's what you can do. All right. No one's got any, life questions. I might shoot off if that's all right. I've got going home for a roast dinner. That'd be huge. I will record a video when I get home from that. The ultimate guide. We'll do expected points, clean sheet odds, who's the best captain, all that jazz for next week. Although I think best captain next week is kind of obvious, to be honest. And then, depending on what I'm up to this evening, I'm probably free, actually. I might do another reaction stream when all the football finishes today, because there are 4 games today. So there's probably a lot to talk about, to be fair. Cheers, Robert. It's been good to have you in the chat. Thank you. I saw you left a comment on my other video as well. And by the way, I really apologise to anyone that leaves comments on my videos. I used to be really quite good at replying to comments on my videos, and I tried to get to everyone. But recently it's been tough because my views have gone up quite a lot recently, which I'm very, very grateful for. But then I end up with an issue that I just can't respond to all the comments. So yeah, apologies if you leave comments asking me questions and I just don't reply. I apologise for that. I really do. Faster. I wouldn't call myself famous, mate. I have been recognised a couple of times, but I wouldn't call myself famous, bro. But I appreciate that. I got recognised in a work meeting once, which was quite funny. Enjoy your Sunday. You too, man. I support 2 teams. There's a scarf. You can't see it really, but there's a Bristol City scarf there. And I've supported Man United all my life as well. Partly thanks to Cristiano Ronaldo as I was growing up. So, yeah. But, yeah, I mean, I don't, yeah. Using me in the word famous I'm not having that. I'm definitely not. I got 13. Yeah, I don't know. Makes you feel uncomfortable thinking about that. Sorry. But yeah, if you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the Golden Goal channel. I'd really appreciate that. I'm going to go and have a roast dinner now. Hopefully, I'm going to play my outro and it all looks professional on this new laptop. And I'll be back with, well, I'll go live at 6:30 p.m. UK time. We'll do like half an hour chatting about Gameweek 31. And then I'll pop a video out at 7 p.m. And if you join as a member, you'll get to see that video as soon as I upload it, which will probably be around 4:30 p.m. So yeah, excuse me, consider joining as a member if you want early access to all my videos. All right, catch you in a bit.